Hi, I'm Anders. I'm part of Twin Lug, and this is a multi-lug Fallout collab that we've been working on for about a year, and I'm really proud to show it here at Brickworld 2025. So, starting off, we got the Fallout sign by my friend Noah. He made that in about 2 weeks using some computer program that allows you to kind of transfer like 3D files into bricks and make it right there. Super cool. I think it turned out really smooth, and honestly, like the little bolt there actually lights up. So just again, cool features we were able to add. But moving on to the giant wall of rock, you can see all of our vaults. So this was kind of the main start of the Fallout collab, was that we knew we wanted to start having some sort of vault. So having whether like different designs, we basically gave a template saying, okay, like this is what you're supposed to do with the size and the height and everything, and just kind of started with there. So you can see we have a sushi restaurant, we have a power generator, we got an aquarium with moving fish, just a ton of different kind of themes and ideas we wanted to throw in just to make it like very unique and also very Fallout. We got that like 50s diner, which is super Fallout 3 specifically.
I love that there's movement even down here with like the sushi and the aquarium.
I mean, if you're in the middle of the desert, sushi sounds like a great option for dinner. What can I say? But yeah, so moving on as we get kind of further in the vault, this side here, we actually had quite a bit of some kind of differences with the lighting itself. So you can kind of see we have like more like kind of cool blue lighting, and then we have more of like an ominous green lighting as we go into the Mad Scientist vault that I created. So in Fallout lore, kind of almost every vault has an experiment. So ours was using these 2000s like Jack Stone classic figures as like the experiment. So just a little Lego humor to throw into to make it a little lighthearted.
And of course a barber shop.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even in the apocalypse, you need a good haircut. Everyone needs a good haircut, so. But yeah, and then we also have just like a little staging area, and then of course going into the vault door, which I believe is actually moving right now. Yes, so that here was made by Hubert, one of our members of the collab. He knocked it out of the park with a moving vault door that moves back and forward and actually like works pretty realistically to the game. I'm super proud because that was one of the first things I had asked when I was like, we need to have this. This needs to be a centerpiece of our layout, was that people need to look and say, oh, this looks exactly like the game. And we even included a custom vault number because Vault 25 doesn't exist in Fallout lore, but I wanted to make sure we did something that allowed us to be creative and not locked to a certain part of Fallout, which is why we chose 25, also because of Brickworld 2025, so it fit perfectly. Yeah, moving on, we have the kind of the main part of the model, which is the Wasteland. So this takes place in New California, which is a section in specifically Joshua Tree National Park. I had visited there quite a while ago, and it really inspired me because it reminded me a lot of New Vegas and like that area, and I wanted to do something where it gave us the most creative freedom with allowing us to make what we wanted, but still including Fallout flair. So you have things like a radio tower, which is very true to the games. You have a vertibird, you have like different abandoned buildings, and then of course our aforementioned Joshua trees, which was a huge thing that we wanted to make sure we got right. Those were built by Paul, one of my co-collaborators as well. And then of course we have the nuclear explosions that was made by John. Those are super cool looking at night, and honestly, like, I remember when we were first starting to build this, he showed those pictures off in our group, and he's just like, yeah, I built this, and everyone's like, oh, we got to get ourselves into gear. We got to get this done. It was very fun to see that, and like just seeing them all come together was just an experience that I just absolutely loved.
Really unique elements to make those up there, and yeah, very striking contrast to the rest of the build.
Absolutely. Fun fact, the ramps on the bigger mushroom cloud are actually city stunts ramps in, like, I think it's one of the bigger sets that we specifically used, and he, like, when he used that, I was like, dude, no way, I would have never thought you could do that. And just, again, it's excellent parts usage in my opinion.
A little more movement there with like an oil rig kind of in the back.
Yep, we got an oil derrick that's moving back and forward. I mean, it kind of makes sense too, like, no matter what time you are in the apocalypse, oil is still going to be useful, even if like maybe it hasn't been shut off for 200 years, who knows. But we have some other movements as well with like, honestly, like there isn't a ton of movement in this model, but I think for me it makes sense though, because as you look across the Wasteland, it kind of catches your eye. You're like, oh, interesting. Like I can see that, kind of like allows you to kind of like look at the stuff that's stationary, and like allows you to kind of sit back and say, okay, that really makes sense, and allows you just to kind of chill and get yourself kind of acquainted with the Wasteland a little bit.
And what were some of these vehicles here?
Yes, so we have a Vertibird that was made by, I believe, Kyle, another group member. And we also have a Brotherhood of Steel Jeep, which actually I believe is from, I think, Tactics, one of the Fallout games. So we just wanted to make sure, because this takes place in the NCR Brotherhood War going on in lore, we wanted to make sure we had some sort of kind of battle going on. So we have those two vehicles there. We also have an abandoned Fallout, very 50s aesthetic red vehicle on the Broken Highway as well. So just things we wanted to include. Even then, are vehicles that aren't really Fallout-like those kind of like random vehicle bodies. We kind of just told the group members, if you have random vehicles sitting around, put them on the model. Like if you just find a set and you're like, hey, this is partially broken, put it on the model. It works. Put it on the layout rather.
And what are these kind of buildings here next to the road?
Yes, so we have an abandoned drive-in theater, the NCR fort back there by the Joshua Tree National Park sign, and a Sunset Sarsaparilla billboard, which I think for me is fantastic. I don't remember which vendor made that sign, but I just think it came out perfectly, and I love just how seamlessly it blends into our layout. And then going into the town, you have a Quonset hut, we have a bar, Super Duper Mart, a Slocum Joe's like donut shop, and even like a little like Poseidon Oil gas station. Just things that kind of take you into the Fallout universe a little bit, which I think just, again, we wanted to make sure we were taking lore and taking the Fallout universe into account. We're not just building an apocalypse, we're not just building a desert, we're building a Fallout layout, which is what we wanted to make sure we were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's in the back corner over here?
Yes. So if you know your Fallout history, that is actually the Brotherhood of Steel bunker from Fallout 1. Because this takes place in New California, we wanted to make sure we were honoring the original legacy of Fallout, so Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and including elements from that. So while we have references across the series from 1, 2, New Vegas, 3, 4, and even like Tactics, we really wanted, and 76 as well, we wanted to make sure we kind of honored like where some of these locations were taking place. So that was built by Ethan, our custom minifigure master. He's the one who helped us get a lot of these great custom figures and allowed us to like really flesh out and make this like very iconic Fallout experience. And honestly, it kind of fits too. I mean, the Brotherhood of Steel and the NCR are kind of always at each other's necks a little bit, very much in conflict, so it makes sense why they would have a bunker right next to their fort and kind of staging an attack on whoever gets the vault.
So how many total builders were involved in this collab, and what was that process like as the collab came together?
Yes, so we had about 15 builders. We started last year at last year's Brickworld. I actually remember like kind of asking people at Brickworld, like I basically ran around and I was like, if you had anything Fallout related, I was like, hey, you want to join a collab? Do you want to join this? I want to make this happen. And I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time like running a group, so it was very much like a learning process for me. But I think the biggest learning I had was just like, we kind of divided and conquered. We said, okay, I'm really good at making desert. I'm really good at making vehicles. Like Hubert's really good at mechanics, so he worked on the vault door. We kind of figured out our strengths and then divided there. Like John, who made the nuclear explosions, is really good at making robots and making vehicles, so he took those on. It was super cool to see everyone just be able to just jump in and use their strengths where someone else might not be as good, and then ultimately everyone is able to learn and get better and to improve their building skills, which I think is just fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic work here. Thanks to you and all the builders involved for all your work on this display. Really fantastic, and I think you even won an award at the show, right?
Yes, we actually just won Best Group Layout here at Brickworld 2025. Absolutely well earned. I will not take full credit. This is a team effort. Like everyone on our team, like spent so many hours, so much dedication. I mean, we had some members working up until, like, stayed up all night, Thursday to Friday morning of the show to get this ready to go for the public. And, like, the public reception has been phenomenal. I've had so many people come up to me and say, like, this just takes me back to the original games or takes me back to Fallout, and, like, people just getting excited about the little Easter eggs and references we have. Like, it makes me so happy that people love this, because that's ultimately why I wanted to, like, do Fallout, because I have such a love for the game, for the universe, for what Bethesda has made, and just our Bethesda and Black Isle Studios, really. And I just wanted to make sure we honored that legacy and created something that, as a Fallout fan, I would love to see as well. So,
Fantastic work. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.